Ethan had always been an ordinary young man. Quiet, polite, and pretty much invisible to everyone around him. He wasn't the top student, nor the most talented athlete. He didn't come from a wealthy family. What he did have, though, was a heart that felt everything deeply and a mind that refused to stop dreaming. But life, as it often does, had a way of placing heavy stones on his path. From childhood, Ethan was surrounded by voices that reminded him of what he wasn't. You're not strong enough. You're not smart enough. You're not meant for big things. You dream too much. These voices of doubt came from all directions: teachers who overlooked him, relatives who pitied him, friends who outgrew him, and sometimes, even his own reflection in the mirror. Yet deep inside, Ethan believed there was something more waiting for him. Something beyond the horizon, beyond the noise, beyond the limits others had placed on him. One evening, after another exhausting day of failure, another job rejection, another friend leaving, another reminder of everything he lacked, Ethan sat alone at a quiet lake near his town. The sky was dim, painted in fading orange. The water was still, mirroring the clouds like a silent, patient witness. Maybe everyone's right, he whispered to himself. Maybe I am nothing. The words tasted bitter. But just as he was sinking deeper into despair, an old man appeared on the wooden pier. He looked fragile yet calm, like someone who knew the secrets of life that no book could ever teach. Son, the old man said, his voice gentle, why are you crying on the edge of the world? Ethan wasn't actually crying, but he felt the pain in his chest tighten. I don't know what to do anymore, he admitted. No matter what I try, I fail. No matter how much I dream, life just pulls me down. The old man sat down beside him. You know, he began, there's a mountain near my village that no one can see. Ethan frowned. A mountain no one can see? Yes, the old man smiled. It exists only for those who dare to climb it. Ethan waited, his curiosity starting to break through his sadness. In my youth, the old man continued, I was just like you. Lost. Broken. Invisible. But one day, a wise traveler told me that every person carries an invisible mountain inside them. Most people never even find it. Some see it but are too afraid to climb. Only a few decide to take that first step. Ethan leaned in, listening closely. What happens when you climb it? You meet yourself, the old man said softly. The strongest version of who you can become. That version of you exists at the summit, but you can't reach him without climbing. Without falling. And without rising again. Ethan's heart started to beat a little faster. How do I find this mountain? The old man pointed gently at Ethan's chest. It's right here. Then he tapped Ethan's forehead. And right here. You must choose your summit, the old man whispered. And then, you climb. Before Ethan could reply, the old man stood up and began to walk away. But wait, Ethan called out. What if I fall? The old man's voice drifted back. Then fall. But fall forward. And with that, he disappeared into the evening mist. That night, something inside Ethan awakened. He didn't suddenly become confident. He didn't suddenly know what he wanted. But he knew one thing for sure, he could no longer stay where he was. He decided he was going to climb his mountain. The next morning, Ethan wrote 3 words on a small piece of paper, find the summit. He wasn't sure what it meant yet, but it felt like a direction. A purpose. He started applying for internships again, not because he was suddenly confident he'd get one, but because he refused to stop trying. He woke up earlier, he studied harder, and he practiced skills he once thought were too difficult for him. He read books, he listened to mentors, and he started surrounding himself with positivity, anything to drown out the old voices of doubt. Progress was slow. Painfully slow. Some days he felt unstoppable, like he could conquer the world. Other days, he felt like nothing had changed at all. But every single day, he took one step. Just one small step forward. Months passed. And slowly, Ethan began to improve. His communication skills got better. His discipline grew stronger. His entire mindset began to shift. And then one afternoon, when he least expected it, he received an email. The subject line read, Congratulations, Ethan. You've been accepted. His heart raced. It was his first real opportunity, a chance to work at a company he had admired for years. A smile spread across his face, and tears of joy welled up in his eyes. This was it. This was the first checkpoint on his mountain. But as every climber knows, the higher you climb, the harder you can fall. During his internship, Ethan struggled more than he had ever imagined. He made mistakes. Big mistakes. The old self-doubt started creeping back in. One day, after a presentation went terribly wrong, Ethan overheard 2 coworkers whispering. He's not cut out for this. He's too slow, too nervous. Their words stabbed him like knives. All the old voices rushed back in. You're not good enough. You don't belong here. You'll never make it. Ethan went home early that day, feeling completely crushed and exhausted. He stood in front of the mirror and saw the same boy he always feared. He was weak, average, and lost. In a moment of frustration, he punched the bathroom sink and finally broke down and cried. Why am I even trying? I knew this was impossible. But then, in the quiet of his despair, he remembered the old man's voice, fall. But fall forward. Ethan sat down, his breathing heavy. And he realized something incredibly important. It wasn't the world that was defeating him. It was his own belief that he didn't deserve to win. So he wiped his tears, reopened his notebook, and wrote, I am still climbing. The very next morning, he went into work, apologized to his team, took full responsibility for his mistakes, and asked a simple question, how can I improve? He started putting in double the effort. He stayed late, revised his work, and practiced over and over until his mistakes became lessons, and those lessons became his strengths. Years passed. Ethan grew, not all at once, but steadily, like a seed beneath the soil that finally breaks through the ground. He gained confidence. He earned respect. He became someone others looked up to, someone dependable, disciplined, and strong. The boy who once doubted himself was slowly becoming the man at the summit. Then one day, Ethan was invited to be a speaker at a leadership event. He stood on a stage, in front of hundreds of people. His hands trembled slightly, but he smiled. My journey wasn't about talent, he said into the microphone. It was about deciding to climb a mountain that no one else could see. He shared his story, the rejections, the failures, the tears, the lessons, and finally, the rise. By the time he finished, the room was completely silent. And then, the applause came. It was loud, long, and heartfelt. In that moment, Ethan felt something shift inside him. He had reached a summit. But he also realized something profound. There is always another mountain. A higher one. A better one. A greater version of yourself is always waiting at the top of the next climb. And for the first time in his life, he was no longer afraid to climb. Ethan's journey teaches us something powerful. You don't need to be gifted. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have a strong start. You only need one thing, the courage to take the first step. Every single one of us has a mountain we must climb. Some never try. Some give up halfway. But the ones who reach the top are the ones who choose to rise again and again and again. So if you're feeling lost, weak, or invisible right now, remember Ethan. Remember the old man's words. And remember this, your mountain is waiting. It's time to start climbing. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiration. See you next time.